Hi everyone. Here we are going to see about the universal continuation part. So in this presentation, we are going to see about the Income Tax Act as well as the Sales Tax Act. So in this we are going to see about what are the characteristics of income tax and what are the purposes are available in the income tax. And then we are going to see deeply about the Income Tax Act 1961. Then we are going to see about the corporate tax planning, then salient features of CST Act, as well as we are going to see about the basic schemes and the practical issues of the value added tax, as well as the salient features of value added tax and advantages and disadvantages. Let me see one by one. So the first thing will be the introduction. So here the income tax is a very important sources of central government. So central government has introduced the income tax to file for all the persons who are earning more than the amount. So the income tax department under the control of Central Board of Direct Taxes, which will comes under the Finance Ministry of Government of India. Next, it is a tax on income which is levied on the previous year's total taxable income of the rates which will be applicable during the current years. So it means that every person will be pay their taxes to the income offices for the previous year, that is the minimum taxable amount of limit is liable to the pay the taxes to the central governments. Next is the characteristics of income tax. So the income tax is levied on the income of the person. It is a direct tax. It is payable by every person. It is levied on previous year's income. It is levied on total taxable income. Income tax is levied at the rate of applicable during the current years, and as it is levied as a per slab systems. Next, purpose of income taxes. So this is that there are three important purposes of income taxes. They are important source of revenue, reducing disparities, and the capital formation. So the revenues of the income tax will be the more important purposes occurs in the income tax. Then we have to reduce the disparities that is occurs in the income. After that we have to capitalize the formation of the income revenue. Next is the Income Tax Act in 1961. So this Income Tax Act extends to whole of India, and it came into force on the first day of April 1962. So this act with 298 sections varies about the subsections of 14 schedules. So this will be present in the income tax, and it is contained in the Income Tax Act of 1961 by the rules of 1962 and the Finance Act 2008 and 9. So this act had been amended several times, that is 1963, 65, 72, 73, 76, 81, 86, 89, 96, 97 and 98. Next is the Income Tax has acted in 1961 has become a most complicated act of the country. So it should be introduced due to the amendment of the several times. So central government has appointed direct taxes which will inquiry the committee in 1970 under the chairmanship of Dr. K.N. Banchu, who suggested the measures to evil effects of black money on the national economy. So Chosky committee was appointed under the chairmanship of C.S. Chosky to suggest the measures to rationalize the tax structure. Next, gross total income. So the aggregate net taxable income that has been various heads of income, which is termed as a gross total income. So this aggregation is not a mathematical process but a legal concept, sir. So it is computed allowing for the deductions of specific various heads of income, set of losses and allowances, set of carry forward losses and allowances, and clubbing the income of any other persons that may be liable to include the total income, sir. Next is the deduction from income. So Income Tax Act allows these specific reductions. So they can make their income from the assessment by computing the total income. So these reductions are also known as the deductions. So two types of deductions have been occurred. One is the deductions from the specific heads of income, and another is from deductions from the gross total income. So these two incomes will be deductions will be occurs in the Income Tax Act. Next, corporate tax planning. So the corporate taxes will having the annual taxes that is to be payable in the income tax corporate operating India. So they have related to the corporate income tax that is contained in the Tax Act of 1961. So they have a specific status for the taxes levied on companies. So the corporate tax planning refers to the changes in the corporation's finance and investment behavior in order to minimize their corporate tax liability. Next we are going to see about the central sales tax. So central sales tax is one of the important indirect tax for state governments. So they can have that the central government will get the tax revenue from the income tax, excise tax, and also from the custom tax. So state government will get the tax revenue for sales tax, excise on liquor, and tax on the agricultural incomes. So municipalities will get all these tax revenues by OCTROI and house property taxes. Next, what are the salient features or occurs for the central sales tax? So it can be extended to the whole of India, and every dealers can make a interstate sales, but can be registered dealers, and the certificate of registration has to be displayed in all the places of business. And there is no exemptions limit for the turnover of levy of central sales tax. Under this act, the goods of the special importance in interstate will be declared. The goods are special importance in the interstate trade or commerce, and also the other goods. Next, the rates on the goods are declared as a lower, and it is compared to the rate of the tax on goods in the second category. So the taxes are levied by the central government, but it is collected by the state government. So the rules which are regarding submission of returns, payment of tax, appeals, etc. are not given in the acts. So state governments are also allowed to frame their rules and regulations, and also subject to the notification and alteration as it deemed to be fit. Objectives of CST. So the objectives of this act are to formulate the principles for determining when the sales or a purchase takes the place in a course of interstate trade or commerce, when the sale or purchase will takes place under the outside the state, that will be occurs in the CST. When the sale or purchase takes place in the course of imports, it should be into the export from India. It also provides for a levy, collections, and distributions of taxes on sales of goods in the course of interstate trade and commerce. It also declares the goods to be special importance in interstate trade or commerce. Next, basic schemes of CST Act. So sales tax revenue is to be concluded to the states, and the tax collected in the states were movement of goods and commerces, tax on the interstate sales of goods. CST could be act define some concepts, and it also declare the goods. So these all can be applicable for the sales taxes. Practical issues in the CST. So the issues which have been occurred in the CST are Sales tax is a single point system of tax levy. In the sales tax structure, there was a problem of double taxation. That is a multiply of taxes. So it increases the tax burden to the ultimate customers, and the applications of the sales tax is restricted only for the goods that have been sold in the country. So dealers of the reselling goods have been no responsibility to collect the taxes. And sales tax is not levied at the time of purchase against the statutory forms. Computations of sales tax is much complicated, and it also were filed separately. Then the assessment of the sales tax is entrusted to the sales department. There is no exemptions limit of turnover for the levy of central sales tax. So sales tax penal provisions for defaulters and evaders of taxes are not strictable. Next is the value added tax. So the main concept of the value added tax is that it is a value added to the goods in the process of production and distribution. So in old tax structure, there were problems of double taxation of commodities and multiplicities of taxes, which will be result in a cascading of a tax burden. So the idea of the tax on value added will be very simple, and it is having the total of all the values which has been created by the successive chain of production that will be added together. Next, the salient features of VAT. So tax levied and collected at the every point of sale. It is collected at the every point of sale, and tax already paid by the dealers at the time of purchase of goods, which will be deducted from the amount of tax paid at the next sale. Dealers will reselling the taxes paid. Goods will have to collect the VAT and file returns and pay the VAT. It is also transparent and easy. The tax on the goods and the services are both self-assessment by the dealers. Next, objective of the VAT. So to have a simple tax system, the administrators have to achieve the complete compliance of books of account. Next, they have to implement a uniform tax throughout the country. They have to provide a mechanism to collect the taxes with references to location of economic activities. They also have to inform the uniform rules of taxation on the international flow of goods across the nation. They also facilitate the enforcement by providing the audit trail through different stages of production and sales. Next, disadvantages. So VAT is regressive. It is too difficult to operate from the position of both the administration and business. It is inflationary, and it also favors the capital intensive firm. Thank you.